brother, and if we want to go back, we can.
Go ahead.
Some people question the role of women in both the Kemetic and Hebrew Israelite tradition. Are there any female leader representatives in either of the communities? Brother Jabari, I want to ask you first, brother.
Well, clearly I would say that the Kemetic tradition is one that exists where because of the idea of Ma'at, men and women exist in a relationship that is mostly egalitarian in the ancient world and in the modern world. And so I want you to get the fact that there are many leaders in the Kemetic community, including my wife. I am the co-chief priest of the Shrine of Ma'at. She is not under me. We both run the Shrine of Ma'at. You've seen other folks that are very important in the Kemetic tradition, and someone even like Queen Afua, who has been on the platform many times. And so I want you to understand that there are many. In fact, if you look at the Kemetic community, you'll see more women than you will men. That is focused on the uplift of women. But I'm saying that when you go to gatherings of men in the Kemetic tradition, you won't see those sorts of numbers.
Some question the role of women in both traditions, the Kemetic tradition and the Israelite tradition. Are there any female leaders, representatives in either of the community? Jabari went, now I'm asking you, are there any female representatives in the Hebrew Israelite community?
I've gone to, well, first of all, let's start off with the scriptures. You see women represented in positions of leadership in the scriptures. We know that Deborah was a judge along with Barak. We see that in the book of Judges. So very early in the Bible, you see a woman with a position of leadership in the nation of Israel as far as being a mother figure in Israel. And Deborah judged Israel. However, Barak went to war for Israel. So you do see that in the scriptures. That's something that people really don't bring up because they like to isolate certain verses in the Bible. I get it, I understand, whatever. So you do see that, and I have also seen in certain Knessets within the Israelite community, when I've gone to Israelite summits, I have seen women in positions of authority and leadership within those Knessets and within those, absolutely. I've gone to summits and seen these things. My brother Jabari probably has never been to any of these particular summits or Knessets or congregations or synagogues and actually seen these things, but these things do exist within the Israelite community. I personally have witnessed and seen it myself. So we can't be making broad statements without having all the facts to back it up. When I've gone to Israelite summits, I have seen women in positions of authority and leadership within those Knessets and within those, absolutely. I've gone to summits and seen these things. When I've gone to Israelite summits, I have seen women in positions of authority and leadership within those Knessets and within those, absolutely. I've gone to summits and seen these things. When I've gone to Israelite summits, I have seen women in positions of authority and leadership within those Knessets and within those, absolutely. I've gone to summits and seen these things.
I want to give all the praises and the honor to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Recha HaKwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone. Honors as well to you, brethren, your fellow believers of the faith. Shalom also to you few sisters, the sincere ones, and shalom to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the elect. So I want to go in this video here with priest, elder DANYAAHLA. He goes back many years of Old One West, and he decides to have some discussion with brother Jabari, and I watched some of it, but I saw when they got to the woman part, and I said, well, I'll do a take on that. And it just seems like, first of all, this brother Jabari, the brother Polites, as you see what happened with brother Polite, all these guys is the uplifting of women. They're queens, and I never hear them call you guys kings. You know, somebody has to lead. And they went into Judges. Priest DANYAAHLA went into Judges, and we're going to touch on that for a second too, mainly. But this is crazy. You know, there's an order, and this is why our people who follow the Egyptology and I don't know whatever Kemet and all those deities. And this is why we're destroyed. This is what we're living in now. right? And you'd ask the true women don't want to really be leaders. It's a lot of work in that, and when you really want to lead the community and it's all egalitarian, well, then that means when the draft comes, then they can pick up a sword and fight. I guarantee they're not going to want to do that. When you're both in the house and it's her time to change the oil, or something breaks, or somebody is breaking in the door, well, you can't claim equality. Well, let's claim equality. Yeah, baby, it's now your time. See who trying to break in the front door. But you know what these simps will do? They'll still claim equality, but yet call the woman a queen, which is that chessboard in front of them, do more than what the king does on the chessboard. Anyway, you can't make this stuff up, man. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 11 and 2. It says, "Now I praise you, brethren, remember me in all things, and keep the ordinances as I delivered them to you. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Yahushua," right? It says here Christ. "And the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Yahushua is Yahweh." You can't get past that. So there are certain situations where the Lord used women to do certain things, just as he used young Jeremiah, right, which was not normal. That's why Jeremiah said, "Lord, I'm not but a young man," right? So the Lord have always used and did things in different circumstances. But let's go into Judges real quick. Let's go to Genesis 2 real quick before I jump to Judges, so you can get, so we can get the understanding what this lesson is going to go into. It says Genesis 2 and 18. It says, "And the Lord God said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a help meet." Right? A helper. What is so wrong with that? I have no idea why these people make these arguments about man and woman. We were supposed to work together, right? Kind of like you got that nice car, but no radio. You want that radio in there to comfort you. That's what like a woman is. You ever a man who will call his car a woman and say she's this or she's that? You know why they do that? Because it represents comfort, right? Which nowadays I don't think it's much of that. But anyway, let's go to Judges 4. I'll try to skim through a little of this, what I can remember. "And the Lord sold the hand of Jabin, the king of Canaan, that reigned in Hazor," which I believe was in Israel, right? Naphtali, or somewhere in Israel. And we lost it, and we started losing, got taken over. When you read a lot of this is, and we'll get into a situation in Kings as well, when the Israelites are broken, right? The Lord has shamed us, right? It says, "The captain of whose host was Sisera, which dwelt in Harosheth of the Gentiles," literally the Gentiles. "And the children of Israel cried unto the Lord, for he had 900 chariots of iron, and 20 years he mightily oppressed the children of Israel." Right, so here you see Jabin the king who reigned in Hazor, which was right there. Just as we see the Samaria, right? "And Deborah the prophetess, the wife of Lapidoth," which I believe was another name for Barak, she judged Israel at that time. Okay, so let's touch on that a little bit. Number one, let's go into this word prophetess. Prophetess, what does a prophetess mean? Prophet endowed the gift of a song, like Miriam. Later type consulted for the word Huldah. Yeah, maybe we'll get to Huldah, right? Maybe I'll touch on that for a second. False prophetess, wife of Isaiah the prophet. Strong's definition, Nibayah. Age 50-30, a prophetess or generally inspired woman, right? By implication of poetess associated as a prophet's wife. That's what a prophetess is. It's a prophet, a prophetess wife. You know, you had the head and then you have the tail, right? We go back into the tent makers. I'm trying to remember. Damn, I can't remember their names. But you had the tent makers, and I believe Paul went to them. Yeah, I can't remember their name. I think Aquila and Priscilla. You know, it was always an order. You know, it was always an order. So that's what a prophetess is. Let's go on down to verse 14 just to get to the point. And Deborah said unto Barak, Up, for this is the day which the Lord have delivered Sisera into thine hand. Is not the Lord gone out before thee? So Barak went down from Mount Tabor, and 10,000 men after him. So, you know, the example of a man that has been beaten, his family's been beaten, and you have a wife that the Lord is dealing with, and you lose your job, and she stands up and say, get up and go out and fight. Get yourself a job. Work. That's the help me, right? That's the biggest part of it. She ain't getting up and grabbing a sword like David, you know, and killing 1,000 men. Now, there's women who killed men. I can't remember the story. I can't remember his name either, where she threw a boulder over and broke his neck or whatever, and he wanted to die an honorable death, so he told one of the men to put a sword in him. So, you know, you would have women, Abimelech. So you would have women, if you're down to your last, you damn right women will try to fight, because guess what'll happen? You know, you see this in these war movies, you see this when towns are taken over. What do women do? She always play a part in helping to win, because if she loses, she knows she's going to be taken, right? Her whole family's going to be broken up. She's going to be taken. She's going to be a concubine. I say conk, right? Or whatever else they're going to make her do, right? So women do play an important factor, because this is our life. This is our history. And a woman always, first of all, women brings life into the world. I mean, the man pushes the seed. He is the life. He pushes the life, but the woman brings it forth into the world. That's a great gift. The Lord did give women great gifts for things for them to do, to be a helpmate. If I win, she win. We win as a team. Just like somebody on the when the I think the Celtics won the championships. The men that sat on the bench, some of them weren't superstars, but you know what happened? They got a ring too. There's men that got rings in sports and in NFL teams who got rings that wasn't superstars. You wouldn't know who they were. But the greatest men on the other team didn't get it. So that should tell you something. It's a team effort, and that's the same thing with man and woman. It's a team effort. And what they've managed to do, these sellouts and setups, right? They all manage to, you know, make a separation. And this is why we have such a separation now. Nobody wants to play their part. Egalitarian. We all equal. Yeah. Then if we all equal, she should be just as strong as you. And when the things get tough and the hardships come down, she needs to do that too. There's no such thing as equality. Hell, I'm not equal to other men on this planet. I'm not equal to other men in the truth. Like, what the hell is he talking about? Equality, egalitarian. No such thing. No such thing. When the kingdom of heaven is here, there will be no such thing as an egalitarian either. Anyway, I was just making that point. There ain't no reason to go on and on about that, and I'm not going to. But let's get Ezekiel 34 and 31. And ye, the flock of my pastor, are men, and I am your God, saith the Lord. Right? Flock of my pastor are men. So Yahushua, when he walked, I guess he had disciples, right, with him too. Now, not saying that women weren't in the crowds. You know, women didn't play a factor in helping. The Bible don't say a lot of things like that. But the head men that was running the show, the leaders, they were all men. There was no, the Lord didn't use a woman in place of John the Baptist. The Lord didn't send a daughter. He sent the son. Now, can women help when it comes to certain things that great men have done? Of course. Mary played a factor in certain things, right? When she went back, I believe, and told Thomas, you know, there's great things that women have done. But what I want to get into is this priest DANYAAHLA says that they have Hebrew Israelite summits that women lead. I don't know about that. And to me, I always think a lot of these things are hustles and skits. More women. Jabari said there's more women. See, when you get all those women, you get the money and you get the funding. The Lord never told us to set up women leadership in Hebrew Israelite summits. Where's the Hebrew Israelite summits in the Bible? We're not supposed to be doing that. Women are leading over. What it's saying is there's women leaders, then they're leading over men. Unless he's ashamed of the gospel and he just wanted to smooth it out, and he's saying they're leaders over other women, which I can understand. But he didn't say that. It was almost like he needed Brother Jabari to see the good side of the Bible. That's what's wrong with these guys. When we talk about the great doctrine, the take doctrine, if you want to say that. That's what's wrong with these guys. They're afraid to speak the truth. They're ashamed of the gospel. 2 Kings 22:14. So Hilkiah the priest and Ahikam the Akbor, the Shaphan, Azahiah went unto Huldah the prophetess, the wife of Shallum. This is why she's called the prophetess, right? Because she's the wife of Shallum. Oh, remember Sarah had a vision from the Lord too, that she would have a child and everything. That's kind of a prophetic thing too. So Sarah would have been the prophetess too. If any brothers here got wives and their wives have dreams and they do things, they would be considered prophetess too, right? But they're not prophets. There's a difference. Anyway, it says, and she said unto them, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, tell the man that sent you to me, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon this place and upon the inhabitants thereof, even all the words of the book which the king of Judah hath read. Now, if I can remember this chapter, I read it maybe 6 months ago, or maybe a while ago. But if I can remember it, it was Josiah's, I believe Josiah, the king. And Israel's going off, because that's what all this is going into. Israel kept going off, and we got broken and beaten, and we cried unto the Lord, and we came back. And the Lord used certain situations like this to shame us, man. You mean to tell me a woman coming to tell you, not your time, Josiah, but when you die? I believe that's what was said. When you die, right? I'm going to bring hell on this place. That is shameful for the Lord to have to use a woman to do that. Yeah. That can't be good. Let me see if I see more on that. It says, because they have forsaken me and have burned incense to other gods, there we go, that they might provoke me to anger with all the works of their hands. Therefore my wrath shall be kindled in this place, and shall not be quenched. And the king of Judah sent to inquire of the Lord, saith the Lord God of Israel, touching the words thou hast heard, because of thy heart is tender, and thou hast humbled thyself before the Lord. Because they went in, if I'm not mistaken, and fixed up the house of the Lord, and the Lord had mercy on them. When thou heardest what I spake against this place, and against the inhabitants thereof, that they should become a desolation and a curse, and as rent clothes and wept before me, I also have heard thee, saith the Lord. Behold, therefore I will gather thee unto thy fathers. Thou shalt be gathered into the grave in peace, and thy eyes shall not see the evil which I will bring upon this place. Yep, there we go. And they brought the king word again, right? So you can read the whole thing. This is all shameful work. What's her name? What we just went into, Judges, Deborah. This is all shameful work, man. All shameful work. But people are trying to explode it and say, woman this and woman that. But the Messiah came here, and although women may have been around, but they were never leaders. The Lord uses them as helps. And that's what you see with Deborah. That's what you see with the prophetess Huldah, right? You've seen the situation with Ruth. You know, what is it? Ruth, not Ruth, Salakia. Esther. Come on, man. But to have women leaders in the Israelite community, nah. That's all I have on that show.